It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Just ahead on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL on this fine afternoon brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland at M&T Bank Stadium. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. But Charles, this Ravens team been so successful in recent years, 10 or more wins in 4 of the last 5 seasons. What do they need to do to take that next step?
Well, the way the Ravens have played for a lot of their franchise history, we know the defense is going to take care of business. They're going to keep you in every ball game. I think on offense, can they throw the ball more proficiently, especially out wide to the receivers, and make plays that way to continue to open up running lanes for a team that we know loves to move the ball along the ground.
Now, meanwhile, for the Houston Texans, the future is now. They take C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State, number 2 overall, and we will see him get the nod as starter in this one.
And you and I laugh privately often when teams say, well, we want him to sit and learn. Come on, if you take him that high, play him right away, go ahead and get him started, and we'll see him do exactly that in this one.
They run with the former Buffalo Bill, Devin Singletary. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The second down throw now from Stroud. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring up. Stroud is hit, and the ball is loose. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Out to his left. 20! Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run here with Edwards. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, Maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Ready, kick.
Stroud out of the gun here. Got a man. It's Brown. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A man coming off a great rookie year, it's Dameon Pierce. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, that's a veteran play from the guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Stroud on 3rd down now. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing now is Stroud. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. And this one is incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their play book and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Stroud will look to throw once more. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 14. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A shotgun snap to Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. Touchdown, Texans! Devin Singletary, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Texans are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's got a man, complete. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. That's complete, left side to Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Again, Jackson. Now this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Jackson now steps away. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens have taken the lead. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Stroud. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. He'll get this to Devin Singletary out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Stroud looking to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now inside the 25. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, here's Stroud. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Here goes Stroud again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. A gain of 3, second down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam. But notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the option right is Jackson. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 23 yards on the play.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The 2nd down attempt there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Jackson's going to keep it, and he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
No gain on the play that time, as we have now reached the end of the 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Texans on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Quick slant here to Woods. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. Stroud out of the gun here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Stroud is hit, and the ball is loose. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Stroud here on 3rd and long. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And a small play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, they can thank their defense for another stop, and now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down, and of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
16 yards on that one, and a Raven first. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Right back to Dobbins on first. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Jackson going to keep it running right. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard carry. It does put him just a few yards short of the goal line, but 4th down coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
This is 1st and 10. Now Stroud. Into the hands of Singletary. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Here's Stroud. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Here's 1st down. Stroud. Got his man, it's Woods. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
This is caught. It's Woods. He's got room to roam. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball count free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been